What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 2nd day of January in the year 2025. I'm Svetlana Marshall with the latest. With this year set to see general and regional elections, Vice President Parag Jagdeo today declared that persons with political ambitions will have tough questions to answer once they declare their interest to run for political office. Mr. Jagdeo began his press conference this afternoon by saying he plans to go hard against detractors and opponents of the PPP this year. He was later questioned about the political ambitions of well-known businessman Azudin Mohammed, who released a New Year's address to the nation on his social media pages.
This is a free country and anyone can contest the elections. However, once you declare your track record, the same way we face scrutiny every single day, we have to face scrutiny over a whole range of issues fairly and unfairly. I hope people are ready to answer tough questions and they would not go off crying that they're being targeted by those questions. They wouldn't become crybabies or cry their victim.
Mr. Mohammed, his father, and their companies were sanctioned by the U.S. government last year over claims of tax evasion and gold smuggling. They have denied the accusations, and the younger Mohammed has been leading a strong public relations push on many of his projects long before those sanctions were handed down. Mr. Jagdeo said every person has a right to seek political office, but noted also that persons would have to answer for their dealings and face scrutiny like any other public official. A New Year's message from businessman Azudin Mohammed has been seen by some as his entrance into politics, but he has not announced any political intentions. As it relates to the sanctions against the businessman and his father, President Irfaan Ali has recently said that Guyana is still awaiting word from the authorities before it can proceed to take actions locally.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Honey, what are you doing? Let's cash out. Let's cash out.
Shop $5,000 or more at any Massey stores for a chance to win a 2024 Nissan Qashqai Sense and $100,000 every 2 weeks with Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot Promotion.
This Saturday, the biggest old school party in the Caribbean goes down inside the National Stadium. Flashback Old School Party featuring Billy Slaughter, Steely Bashment, and the return of King Eddie's, plus a top-tier lineup of local DJs. Flashback Old School Party, hosted by OC Dread. Gates open at 6 p.m. General tickets $4,000, VIP $15,000, VVIP $80,000. Tickets available now at your usual ticket outlet. Flashback Old School Party this Saturday at the Guyana National Stadium, powered by Guinness. Premier Promotions, the Sheriff Entertainment, and Team Rodney presents Day One, featuring Governor, live from Jamaica.
Yo, shut your mouth with a little bit of money.
Sure, man, a star, yo, I know every girl fit me.
Governor at Flashback Washdown, Aziza Akusa Creek, outside Splashmans, Sunday, 5th January. Also featuring Quelly Ranks and Oosh Boss, Bobby Cush and Jerome, Slingers Family, Notorious International, and Green Downs. Day One, Flashback Washdown, featuring Governor, live.
Girl, you have a cute and a little.
Gates open at 9 a.m. Admission easy. Sponsored by Crowns Auto Nation, Extra Beer, Fireside Grill, and Rodney's Court. Day One.
The US $260 million new Demerara River Bridge is now expected to be completed by the end of this year, according to President Irfaan Ali. Construction of the new bridge was expected to be completed by March. The president made the announcement during his New Year's address to the nation.
By the end of 2025, the new Demerara River Bridge will be operational, and the East Bank to East Coast Bypass Road will be completed within months. This year, we'll commence the construction of a new bridge across the Berbice River and advance works on the Wisma Bridge.
The new Demerara River Bridge, which is being constructed by China Railway Construction Corporation Limited, was first scheduled to be completed by the end of 2024. The president has said that when completed, there will be no toll for crossing, and he believes it will provide new opportunities in business and development. The president said in this new year, his government will also roll out a number of key infrastructure projects as it expands the country's road network.
In 2025, we'll continue to work for a safer country and safer communities where people and their property are safe. This year, we'll accelerate the rollout of the Smart Country program and the deployment of smarter technology and intelligence-driven policing. This year, 2025, also, we will launch a safer roadway initiative that will involve better designed highways and roadways, strengthen enforcement of road safety laws, and the use of technology-based solutions to stem the unacceptable level of road accidents and fatalities.
Meanwhile, reflecting on 2024, President Irfaan Ali said since taking office, his administration has focused on transforming the country into a prosperous nation where national prosperity translates into community, household, and individual well-being. He said Guyana continues to be the shining star of global economic growth.
The numbers speak for themselves. For the 5th consecutive year, our economy grew at an extraordinary pace, leading the world in economic performance. But here is the best part. This growth is not confined to oil. Our non-oil economy or non-oil sectors have expanded by more than 40% since 2019. And our non-oil exports are steadily climbing. This is the result of deliberate planning and diversification of our economy, ensuring that our growth is broad-based.
In the face of rising food prices and a steep rise in cost of living, the government has provided a range of support to Guyanese, including subsidizing the cost of fuel and electricity, increased wages for public servants, teachers, and members of the discipline services, and increased pension for the elderly, the president noted. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Sonia Parag today brushed aside claims of interference in the internal elections of mayors and deputy mayors, telling reporters that the decision to halt those elections will in no way affect the municipalities. Elections of the mayors and deputy mayors for the 10 municipalities were expected to be held no later than December 16, 2024, in keeping with the Municipal and District Council Act. While the Ministry of Local Government issued a reminder in mid-October for preparations to be made for the internal elections, those elections were put to a halt suddenly on December 2, 2024. Mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon, has said Minister Parag's decision to halt the internal elections is a blatant overreach of her powers, adding that those internal elections are democratic processes that are protected by the Constitution. But at a press conference today at the Otachung Conference Center, Minister Parag said the Ministry of Local Government has oversight over the 80 local government organs, including the 10 municipalities, and would therefore take action as it sees fit. Offering no clear indication when the elections will be held, the local government minister said in the absence of the internal elections, the status quo remains the same, in keeping with the local government laws.
At the moment, I can't say that it will or it will not.
Weighing in on the issue, Opposition Member of Parliament Ganesh Manipal said the decision of the local government minister is not only undemocratic but also unlawful. He said the decision to halt the elections is a clear breach of the country's local government laws.
The PPP government and Sonia Parag in particular should be deeply ashamed. Section 12 of the Municipal and District Council Act, Chapter 2801, is unequivocal. It mandates that the town clerk conduct these elections without undue interference. The ministry's intrusion into this process is not only unauthorized, but also illegal. Any attempt to rationalize such interference undermines the rule of law and should be outright rejected by local authorities.
He said municipalities and local government bodies are enshrined with autonomy under the Constitution, an autonomy that must be respected and protected. In addition to the alleged interference in the internal elections, Minister Parag has been accused of making biased interventions, particularly in the case of Linden, with the council accusing her of interfering with its decisions and operations. Such actions, it says, not only jeopardizes the independence of the town council, but also sets a dangerous precedent for the governance of local government organs. But Minister Parag made it clear that the Ministry of Local Government will step in when necessary in the interests of the people.
Where that oversight concerns anything that is relevant to the people of that town, we will step in. And where it concerns especially the work plan of the council that does not serve the people of that town, we will step in.
The municipality of Linden has also accused the town clerk, Lennox Casper, of inappropriate conduct and acting outside of his mandate and in conflict with the decision of the council. Minister Parag jumped to his defense today, telling reporters that the mayor must also be held accountable.
I do not see the town clerk's conduct as being inappropriate. I think that, to be fair, you also have to raise the conduct of the mayor of the municipality of Linden and the pressure that has been placed on the town clerk to sign documents that are necessarily carrying financial breaches.
She said the Ministry of Local Government will continue to provide oversight, especially in the absence of a local government commission. The government has not moved to appoint a new local government commission since the life of the last commission expired.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Wednesday, January 15, 2025 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact the GCOM on 2250-278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Premier Promotions, the Sheriff Entertainment, and Team Rodney presents Day 1 featuring Governor live from Jamaica.
Yo, shut your mouth with a little bit of money.
Man a star, yo, I know every girl fit me.
Governor at Flashback Washdown, Aziza Akusa Creek outside Splashmans, Sunday 5th January. Also featuring Quelly Ranks and Oosh Boss, Bobby Cush and Jerome, Slingers Family, Notorious International, and Green Downs. Day 1, Flashback Washdown, featuring Governor live.
Girl, you have a cute and a little.
Gates open at 9 a.m. Admission easy. Sponsored by Crowns Auto Nation, Extra Beer, Fireside Grill, and Rodney's Court. Day 1.
Scores of Guyanese passengers who were left stranded in Guyana and St. Lucia, along with other British Airways passengers, are hoping that they will be compensated by the airline after facing 3 days of delayed flights. The trouble started on Sunday when a British Airways flight from London to Guyana via St. Lucia did not continue on to Guyana. Instead, the passengers destined for Guyana were also asked to disembark the aircraft and were left at the airport in St. Lucia. The passengers said they were initially told that the flight to Guyana would have been delayed by a few hours, but then they were told it would be overnight and they were taken to a hotel. Meanwhile, in Guyana, The passengers who were preparing to depart for London found themselves gazing at hapless check-in agents who could not offer them any information about the flight out, since the incoming one had been cancelled. The passengers in both Guyana and St. Lucia found themselves going to the airport on at least 3 other occasions, only to be turned away, since there were no flights and they found themselves stranded for a total of 4 days. The airline has been silent on the issue. However, the Ministry of Public Works in Guyana in a statement said it had made contact with the airline officials over the situation and were told that efforts had been made to rectify the problem. The airline blamed the delays on mechanical issues on one of its aircraft. Many of the stranded passengers did not buy the excuse and have accused the airline of ignoring their requests online for additional information. In Guyana, although British Airways operates a scheduled service, it does not have an office here. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Sonia Parag today said all 70 Neighborhood Democratic Councils, NDCs, have received their subventions for 2024, while the 10 municipalities have received their subventions in full or in part. She said the subventions are released according to approved work plans. Those work plans have to be approved by the local government ministry.
Not all would have resubmitted. If they had a change of program, not all would have resubmitted their change of program. So we were not able to give all to all of them, but all of them received in part.
News Source was able to confirm that the municipalities of New Amsterdam, Anna Regina and Rose Hall have received their subvention in full to the tune of $18 million each. However, in the case of Georgetown, the mayor and city council has received only half of its $30 million subvention. But in the case of Linden, the municipality is still awaiting its $80 million subvention. The mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon, said the council's work plan was denied twice by the local government ministry. Initially, the council had proposed to purchase a generation set for its administrative building, but when that was denied, it submitted another proposal to purchase a mini excavator and road building materials, and that work plan was also denied. Solomon said the council intends to resubmit its last proposal with the hope of getting the approval of the local government ministry. Minister Parag today said the councils need to do more for their citizens.
I do think that the city council in Georgetown needs to do more for its residents. I don't think that is something that hasn't been said before. I don't think that is something that is a secret. I think people cry out, and the number of complaints that the ministry receives on a daily basis, sometimes in relation to garbage collection, sometimes in relation to drainage, sometimes in relation to so many things. Somebody yard flooding, we have to go and dig out the drain, we have to go and pick up somebody else's garbage, and it's lacking. It is lacking.
Parag has been accused of interfering in the work of some of the councils and issuing orders directly to administrative officials. She has denied the claims by saying her ministry will get involved in areas that it sees fit. She said the government will continue to give support to local organs where necessary and will strengthen solid waste management throughout the country in 2025. With the country's largest hospital, the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, experiencing a severe shortage of nurses, the government is hoping to address the situation soon. According to GPHC's Chief Executive Officer Robbie Rambaran, the hospital is short of approximately 700 nurses. At a press conference on Tuesday, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said the government is cognizant of the situation and is working to increase the number of nurses in the country through training and also the hiring of nurses from abroad. It was explained that the Ministry of Health is working with a number of its partners, including the Pan American Health Organization PAHO, to develop a staffing plan to address its human resources needs, as well as the issue of migration, even as it increases the number of hospitals in the country. Minister Anthony said the plan includes the decentralization of training programs for health professionals and the continued implementation of a hybrid training program, which allows nursing students to do their theoretical studies online and their practical sessions at simulation centers in 9 of the 10 administrative regions.
Next year, we intend to graduate. Once they pass their exams, we'll be able to graduate another 3,050 persons in different specialties of medicine. And while we would graduate that 3,050 persons, we currently have another 3,740 persons in training. And next year, we intend to take in another 3,000 persons in various programs.
The health minister admitted that even with a high intake of trainees, the training program for professional nurses takes 3 years, and the majority of the nurses would not graduate until 2026. As such, there would be existing gaps in the systems. To fill those gaps, the ministry would import nurses from countries such as Cuba.
So just like how we are losing persons to migration, we would have to explore possibilities of people coming in and working in Guyana, those who are desirous of doing so.
Amid the nurse shortage, the government is in the process of constructing a number of health facilities, including 6 new regional hospitals in Bath, Number 75 Village, Diamond, Lima, Decandrain, and Enmore. The Diamond, Enmore, and Bath hospitals are expected to be completed by March, while the other 3 hospitals will be completed by June. According to the minister, the hospitals will be fully functional and would be staffed with a blend of existing, imported, and newly trained nurses.
Let's stay at number 75. Number 75, we are replacing Skeldon Hospital with number 75 Hospital. So there's existing staff there, right? So those staff would come across, plus we'll supplement because they'll be doing more services now. Similarly for Fort Wellington. Fort Wellington staff would go across to the hospital next door, Bath, and so we are supplementing. Diamond, same thing. Diamond, the Diamond current hospital that we have would go to the new facility, and then we'll supplement. So it's not all of them that we need totally new people, right? So we'll be supplementing.
Additionally, approximately 1,000 nursing assistants are expected to enter the system to give support to nurses.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027-829 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
And now for your regional and international news. In the region, the cold-blooded killing of Special Prosecutor Randall Hecton Tuesday night as he walked out of a church service with his wife and 2 young children in Newtown, Port of Spain, has left the legal fraternity in tears, but also cautious of the message being sent by those who reportedly planned the shooting. The shocking murder, which was described as a hit in many quarters, has been labeled as gang-related by the police, according to Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. However, this theory was dismissed by members of the public, legal luminaries, and Hector's peers, who all claim his death had been carefully and deliberately planned. The 43-year-old father of 2 was shot multiple times at 7:30 p.m. as he left the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Queen's Park West. It was alleged that as Hector and his wife, among others, walked to their respective vehicles upon the conclusion of the service, a black SUV and a Nissan B15 pulled alongside Hector's car, and occupants opened fire on him, hitting him squarely in the chest. 4 bodies discovered last week are a group of young boys reported missing at the start of the month. Ecuador's Attorney General's office said as a judge ordered detention for 16 military personnel while their alleged role in the disappearance is investigated. The boys, aged between 11 and 15, went missing on December 8 in a local village. Their families have said they went out to play soccer. The case has sparked outrage throughout Ecuador, with protesters in the capital and elsewhere demanding answers about what happened to the children. President Daniel Noboa's government has deployed members of the military to patrol streets and assist law enforcement efforts amid a crackdown on crime, which has battered the country over the last several years. Commanders of Ecuador's armed forces said last week the children were detained while allegedly committing a robbery and subsequently taken to a military base before being released. And finally tonight, international news. A U.S. Army veteran who drove a truck into a crowd of New Year's Day revelers had pledged allegiance to Islamic State, but acted alone in the attack that killed at least 14 people, the FBI said on Thursday. The suspect, who the FBI said was shot dead at the scene after firing at police, has been identified as Shamsuddin Jabbar, a 42-year-old U.S. citizen who once served in Afghanistan. He drove from Houston to New Orleans on December 31 and posted 5 videos on his Facebook on the morning of the attack, in which he said he supported the Islamic State, the Islamic militant group with fighters in Iraq and Syria, the FBI said. In the first video, Jabbar said he previously planned to harm his family and friends, but was concerned that the media coverage would not focus on the war between the believers and the disbelievers, the FBI Deputy Assistant Director said at a press conference. Jabbar also said in the videos that he had joined the Islamic State before last summer and provided his last will and testament. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting.